yesterday's efforts, which is a new task I got this week, and it's all about extending the IntelliJ Platform Gradle plugin, so the plugin for the Gradle build system, for to align with the recent changes done by the Marketplace team. So since, I don't know, a couple of weeks, that wasn't announced yet, you are able to publish plugins for JetBrains IDEs in variants. So we now support variants. So whenever your plugin is bundling some binaries, OS-specific binaries, that can be used only on a specific operating system like Linux, Windows, Mac. So whenever your plugin bundles that, it has to bundle everything, all of those binaries, all those variants, to make it work on every OS. That makes your plugin a bit bloated, so size is increasing drastically because of that. And Marketplace team released a new possibility for publishing OS and architecture specific plugin of your plugin, variant of your plugin. So yeah, this feature is already live, but we don't support it yet from the tooling perspective, and that's the topic of the stream actually. So that's the second day of those efforts. Yesterday I started extending the IntelliJ Platform Gradle plugins DSL, so you can easily define what binaries should be included in this or that variant. And well, I had some questions during the stream, and I had an opportunity to chat with Yuri yesterday. Yeah, and one of those questions was, should we still publish a default variant, so the plugin that covers all IDs at once, while when publishing variants at the same time? Well, yeah, basically as a fallback. So the answer is no. You either publish everything or go for variants approach. So yeah, that simplifies everything. And yeah, also Yuri had other thoughts on how this setup should look like. Yesterday I have prepared DSL that looks like that. So within the IntelliJ Platform closure, we have now variants and the targets property, where you can basically specify which targets you want to publish to Marketplace. Well, the answer here is also you publish all variants or basically none of them. So manual setting those variants is not a good idea, especially when we don't provide any fallback. So this part, so I need to go to the IntelliJ Platform extension. So this part should be removed now. Yeah, because we don't expect plugin authors to specify, to pick which targets they want to use. So going back to the variant data class, variant, we'll basically define here a list of const default or even variants. What's okay? Okay, const const val, yeah, val, which is okay. So that's the list of variants we have to use for defining, preparing and publishing archives. Yeah, simple as that. Let me just check something here. Simple as that. Okay, yeah. So we can get back to the extension definition. So for so this one no longer works as we removed it. Now it will start complaining. And the other thing Yuri highlighted is target provider. Targets. Okay. Yep, that makes no sense as well. So yesterday I thought that in the initialize IntelliJ Platform Plugin task, it would be a good idea to prepare for plugin authors the target variants container directory and all variants. I mean, and create directory for each of available variants. So no, that's something I discussed with Yuri as well, and we will take another approach here, and I agree with him on that. Hold on, what's wrong? Okay, no, it's good. So instead of creating directories and then copying the content from this directory into the sandbox of the given plugin, we will take another approach and introduce actually here in variants something slightly different. Properties. Let me just check that in chat. Properties. Native variants. Properties. Okay. Properties that will be of the file collection type, into which you can add new files, any file from anywhere. You don't have to copy stuff into this specific directory, but you'll just add them to the collection. So you just add pointers to those files, and prepare sandbox task will gracefully consume them. So yeah, I think this is also a good approach, because we don't have to copy everything, all possible variants content into the sandbox and then filter out stuff from there. But yeah, we'll operate on collections. And yeah, native variant. Yuri also suggested to rename these variants into native variants, so something like that. Okay, and the path will be gone as well. So let's get back. Okay, we'll have no path from here. We can remove that as well, and that's gone too. Okay, so now we're going back to the extension definition. The path directory property will be gone. This one will stay, but we are renaming that extension to native variants, right? Native variants. Okay, and here we have to rename this one and this one as well. Okay, so eventually in build Gradle we'll have just that. IntelliJ Platform native variants enabled true. Yeah, classic. The missing assign import. Okay. Alrighty, it's there. And yeah, IntelliJ Platform native variants enabled true. From Yuri's example, there is also something like that. So we should here introduce a nested I forgot how to call that. Nested configure. Nested something. Okay. I really forgot how to call that. In Gradle, how to call created nested closures like okay, give me a sec. x86, x64. Actually, that should be something like that. And Linux, Mac, Windows, okay. Mac and Linux. Mac and Linux. Okay, maybe I don't need to know the name right now. How would you create a nested setup for native variants to support adding Windows, Linux, Mac, closures, and this and this as file collection properties. We're working only inside the IntelliJ Platform extension and the variants class. I'm using Restream for streaming my streams, and they told me that x.com chat is not working today. They're working on that, but if I were you, I would try sending me a message anyway. Let's see if that's already fixed or not. Okay, there is something. Okay, what do we have here? Native variants, that's my existing code. There is this enabled property. And yeah, Windows, Linux, Mac are the platform. And the platform is this configurable file collection. Okay. Nothing changes here. Okay, yeah. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So those are, so we need a platform data class. No, not data class even. Okay, registrable. Okay, those two names are okay. And we are creating objects out of this platform data class. Objects, so we need objects here, right? Objects. But you are not providing me with objects. Is it injected automatically? Okay. Let's see. So now we need those funny functions like IDEs, so those, right? We need those for each. Hold on. This is just a getter. But here we are registering a new extension, and that's not an extension but an object. So here for Windows we just need that in platform. Windows platform. Oh, come on. Windows. And same for Linux. Mac, Windows. Linux. And Mac. This and that, yeah, makes sense. Configurable. Okay, they're using this. Yeah, maybe I should use similar helper for everything, but this is just for platform. That's just for platform. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Delegates to What are you exactly? The platform action delegate. Okay, that's any. Okay. Let's try if this works. So let's go to the build Gradle. Come on. Let's go to the build Gradle IDEs. Come on, what's wrong? Refresh that. Okay. Seems like we have it. Yep, it's there. So we can currently configure which variants get what. That's good. And we have this enable feature flag. So now we should consider making the that's the tricky part. So we don't need this one. Now we need to prepare multiple sandboxes. I think so, yeah. And then what about testing? Okay. Still, when building the plugin, at the very end, we'll have this distributions directory where we will no longer have a single zip archive, but multiple ones, each per available variant. Okay. And the build plugin is using prepare sandbox for composing zip archive, but we need to have a proper sandbox already to be in place. And if we will create multiple sandboxes when building plugins, we'll be able to patch XML file in this sandbox. So we'll no longer need to repack zip archive and jars. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. So now we will need to have multiple prepare sandbox tasks, and then build plugin, because we'll still have just a single build plugin task. We'll need to iterate through those sandboxes. So why don't we start with that? Let's go to the build plugin task. And here we have this prepare sandbox task provider. This one will remain as is, because for all variants it should be exactly the same. The only difference is here, prepare sandbox task provider. So here from should be different. Plugin directory will remain the same in all variants, but we will need to change the prepare sandbox we're going to use. Okay, but we also need to produce multiple fuck. So we because we'll have to iterate through different tasks, prepare sample tasks. Okay. Let's check that with codex. Can Gradle zip task produce multiple zip archives in one run? Probably not. Probably it can't. I would be really surprised if that's possible, because I already think that we'll have to create a couple of them. No, a single Gradle zip has one archive file. Okay, platforms. Oh, thanks for that. Platforms, map, register. So it suggests producing multiple build plugin tasks. What a surprise. Okay, the good thing is that I already have something like that in place. So whenever you create a custom task, let's say custom run IDE by IntelliJ Platform Testing, run IDE, registering. So whenever we have something like that, a new run IDE is created. It's called Custom Run IDE. So here, and for this one, we are also creating custom prepare sandbox task. Simple as that. So there is this prepare sandbox custom run IDE. So we are already operating on suffixes, named suffixes. So we can create something similar for build plugin. So now build plugin, if the native variants enable is true, the build plugin will depend on multiple other build plugins, and the build plugin, okay, and those tasks will be created automatically if the flag is set to true. Okay, so we can start with creating multiple build plugins. So let's get back to the build plugin task, and here we have a register task. Let's check the prepare sandbox task. Here on the bottom we are also registering, okay, multiple tasks like that. Register task, and those are hard-coded tasks. I mean, those are static ones. And here we are creating that's the base one, and here we register custom one with suffix. And the with suffix is that. Okay. Okay, so in build plugin, here in build plugin, somewhere here we will need to prepare sandbox, build variant plugin task. Not here, not here, not here. Yep, here. Okay, build plugin with suffix. let's get back here. So here, this one has to be with suffix. And first we have to iterate through all available options. Which is variants. Map. OS. Arc. Okay, so those are our variants. Variants. Suffix. So here we create multiple tasks. Well, that should already work. Build plugin variant task archive base name so IT can I OS Arc, yes. Okay. So that should give us already multiple tasks that do nothing. Okay, let's see if we'll have a couple of built plugin. No, we don't have them yet. No, we should, because we didn't set any condition yet. So yeah, we have a couple of built plugin tasks, As expected, build plugin. I'm not sure yet if this name is good, but let's keep it. And each of those needs to have a dedicated... Okay, first of all, let's make this condition here. Isn't it too early to read this property? It is too early, I think. Oh my god. And how are we doing that in this extension? I mean, in testing extension. Because we do register tasks there. Okay, all named options. Prepare sandbox. Name is a string. Yeah, the problem is that it is really easy to fall into the trap of Gradle configuration cache. Because if I read somewhere here a property from IntelliJ Platform extension, native variants enabled. So this one, if I read this one too eagerly, because I have to evaluate it here somehow, it may break things. On the other hand, the code that is happening here is already a bit lazy. Okay, let's try it. Extension. How? Extension provider. Okay, let's check what will happen here. Now by default it's disabled, so those tasks should be gone after refreshing. They're gone. So now, okay, I don't need this anymore. No, it's true. So it's enabled. Oh yeah, that's exactly the issue I was referring to. Resolving stuff eagerly. I mean, at this point, enabled it is not set to true yet. Yeah. It's still false. When? When? If in build Gradle KDS it's set to true by later in life cycle. How to make that run lazily. In build plugin task. Okay. Still, we will need to create a proper prepare sandbox task. In a similar way it's done in the testing extension. Like here. Where was that? Okay, so here we are creating a prepare sandbox task, and here we are creating a proper task, and then apply sandbox from. The apply sandbox from is with us, because build plugin task also, no, it doesn't. Oh my god. Because it doesn't need anything like that. It just needs a pointer. So we will need a prepare sandbox task source property. Otherwise we'll duplicate the content. Clear Gradle model is to register all variant tasks eagerly but lazily. Then defer only the condition until execution. Only if. Only if is only about running. Okay, project. I don't like project after I write, but I'd like to avoid creating tasks when is false. Okay, are we there yet? I think I had some technical issues. I don't know if we're still live. Can you please confirm that? because Camel and Restream told me something is off and the connection is dropped. Native variants. Okay, then a property boolean is the wrong activation mechanism. Can be. Use an explicit DSL activation method that registers tasks when called. Native variants enable. Okay. Or treat entering native variants as activation. Does that make sense? Treat entering native variants, that is kind of okay, because if you desire to configure native variants, you have to open this IntelliJ Platform native variants closure in order to configure it, to provide some files there. Yeah. And okay, it's okay. That makes sense-ish. Okay, that makes sense. Because I would like to really avoid the situation when we have a bunch of tasks added that you don't actually use. I mean, register them. Okay. I would make activation an explicit one-shot callback on by native variants extension. Okay. Entering either Kotlin or Groovy DSL, yeah, because we have a couple of methods for that, invokes it, and that callback registers the variant tasks immediately during normal script execution. Yeah, that would make sense. What do I want to do right now? Okay, still I need to create. What was the other function? This testing. IntelliJ testing extension. I have a weird feeling that we just started other separate stream. I don't know. Maybe it's my internet connection. I don't know. So we need that per sandbox with the same suffix. And we need this one to be created before build plugin task. Okay. Suffix. And that's because build plugin. We need this thing prepare sandbox variant task provider. And the base. Build plugin task. Okay, it doesn't work like that. So here we'll need to read project tasks named. Configure depends on this one. Okay, this is probably a disaster at the current state of code. Okay, so there is some onActivate method. Makes sense. Okay. Actually, I have to wrap it up. Family stuff. Tomorrow we have a public holiday in Poland, so I will not be working, but we'll get back on Monday, surely. I believe similar time, something like 1-2 p.m. Yeah, I'll pick this story up from this point. So yeah, if you're curious where this will lead us, join me on Monday. Thank you. Cheers.